Let's continue on with our project in Onshape. I am in the top level assembly. If you take a look, there are a couple components missing. For example, we could use a carburetor for the engine block, and right now we have nothing on top of the engine head. In this video, we are going to make the plug for the engine head. So the first thing that I need to do is go to the part studio that contains the engine head. Let me go to my Part Studios folder at the bottom of the screen. Here is the one for the engine head. I will click on it. Now I am back in the environment. And so let me turn on the display of my planes, and so that way I can figure out what plane I am going to sketch on. And by the way, this part's going to be fairly easy. It's a couple revolves and extrude, some chamfers, not too much involved in this. But for the first feature, let me make the engine head a little transparent. That'll make it easier for me to see inside. And then I will select on the plane called front, right mouse click. Let's create a new sketch. And then I am going to view normal to the sketch. And so the engine plug is going to go in here, and I need a surface that's going to end up being level with the sort of like where the bottom of the cuts are. If I rotate the models, you'll see that the bottom of the cuts is the same surface that the hole is in over here. So let me go to view normal to my sketch plane. I'm going to sketch a bunch of different lines. Let me click on the line tool, and let's see, we need a horizontal line out over here, and I'm just going to eyeball it. I'll add some constraints later on in order to put in the right place. And then this is going to go up a little bit, and then let's see, this is going to go in, and we're going to have a narrow top, and then here, and then go down, probably about yay tall. And then to get it to lock into the first line, I'm just going to hover my mouse over to give it focus, and then I can left click and then left click again. Let me hit the escape key to get out of line creation. And this is going to be revolved, so let me throw in a center line. It'll also help with some of the different dimensions I want to create. I will go to construction mode. Let's create a line, and I'll let it snap into the origin, and I'll just make it vertical, and then hit the escape key. I'll also use the keyboard shortcut P to turn off the display of my planes, just to make everything a little bit easier to see. Let's see, the next big thing I need to do, let me throw in a coincident constraint so that this line lies in the same surface as here. Now, one thing you'll note, if I try to go to coincident and pick the line and then the surface, I'm not getting anything, and that's because I'm in transparent mode. Let me hit the escape key once more. I'm going to turn off transparency for a moment. That is really quite a bright green. Let me go to coincident and then pick the line again. And now you'll notice the surface is highlighting. So that is good. Now I can right click on the engine head and make transparent once more, and right mouse click and view normal to my sketch plane. Let's throw in our dimensions. So let's see, for the different dimensions, I need the height of this line. This is going to be, 25, and I got it almost exactly. I wasn't even paying attention to the values. This one is going to be a height of 30, not so close there. And then the overall height, this line, this is going to be 72.5. And now we need some different diameter dimensions. And so for the diameter dimension, I'll pick this line and then the center line. And by moving my mouse over to the left, here I'm getting the diameter dimension. This is way too big. Let's change that to 14. And then down at the bottom, let's click this and then the center line. And then my dimension here is going to be 30. And then the last dimension is going to be the width here. Pick the line, pick the center line, move out to the left. And this is way off. Let's see, that needs to be 37.5. And that is good. So that is the basic shape. Let me edit the name of the sketch. If you take a look, I've got some of the features named in here, but I could have done a better job. Let's hit the pencil icon. And this is going to be, let me call it the plug revolve sketch. And get rid of the number 2 on the end there. Hit the check mark. And so this is good. Now I can click on the revolve tool. And for what I want to revolve, let's select that face and then click in the field for revolve axis to give it focus, and then click in here. And right now this is going to add material, but this is going to be a brand new part. So let's change revolve to add material. And now you can see what the new geometry is going to look like. And let me hit the pencil icon, and we'll call this the plug base revolve. Once again, I can get rid of the number on the end there and hit the check mark, and so I'm happy with that. I don't need to see the engine head, so let me hide it entirely. And let's select our part 2 in the parts list, and then with the right mouse button, I can choose to rename it. I'm just going to call it plug. All right, so that is good for my very first feature. And now there's going to be a hex feature about over here. Oh, I can turn off transparency since I hid the component. And so for my sketch plane, it's going to be right about over here. Hey, let's just jump into creating the sketch. And then I'll use this icon to create a mate connector on the fly. And let me click here to start it. But again, I want it to be up a little bit. So let's go to the other little mate connector icon in the sketch plane field. This allows us to edit the mate connector. And I want it to go up 10. So let's see, let's change this to -10 and hit the enter key. That is good. Let me hit the X to get out of there. And then I can right mouse click and view normal to the sketch plane. And this one, we're going to make a polygon. It's just going to be a hex shape. So let me go to the drop down, and we'll use the inscribe polygon for the dimension that we want to control. Let me locate it right on the center and drag it out. And here we have it. Let me left click and then make sure I'm getting 6. There we go, 6. That is good. For this diameter dimension, this is going to be 40. And everything is good here. Let me edit the name, and I'll call this the plug hex sketch. And then get rid of the number on there. Hit the check mark, and let's rotate the model. And I'm going to pan it over. For this, we are going to extrude. I'll click on the extrude icon and then select my sketch. Let's flip the direction. And right now, this is way too big. We don't need it to have that big a depth. It's actually going to be 12.5, and hit the enter key. So again, it's just going to go like, part way through the body in there. And so this is going to be my hex extrude. I'll call it the plug hex extrude. Keep a little consistency. And hit the check mark. And so that's good for the second feature. Down at the bottom, we are going to have a hole. So let's click on the hole tool. And normally you select sketch points, but hey, you can also select mate connectors. And so I'll click on the mate connector. And let's grab right here, and let's see for the different dimensions that we want. We want it to be metric, and so it's going to be a drilled hole. And yeah, drill size of 12.5 is good. Line depth of 20. If you're wondering, hey, why are the values already correct as I went to create the hole? Well, I did a dry run right before this, and so it's using the same values from my dry run. So again, if you're wondering, hey, why are they magically the correct values that Dave wants to use? That is why. All right, let's see. Let's hit the check mark in order to complete that. And let's see, what else do we need? We are going to make a groove up at the top. Let me use the keyboard shortcut P to turn on my planes. Let me zoom out a little bit, and we can sketch right on the plane called front. I'll select that, right mouse click and hold, new sketch, right mouse click and hold, view normal to the sketch. And let's see, I'm gonna put in a construction line. I'm gonna, just so I can focus right in on the side edge here. So let me see, let's put in construction line, and, or can I project? There, let's just project that. Now we have a construction line for me to lock in. I don't know if I had to do that, but let me use that method. That way I can lock right into the silhouette edge there. And let me left click, and let's see, our dimensions are for the groove are going to be 2.5 by 2.5. So I'll enter that, and 2.5, and hit the enter key. And let me hit the escape key because I don't want to create any other different lines. And I do want to grab my different dimensions and move them out of the way. Everything is in blue because we haven't located it vertically along the surface. So let's create one dimension, the distance from here to here. And I'll just throw it all the way out of here so it's out of the way. And punch in a value of 5. Everything is black, so that is good. Let me once again edit the name of the feature, and this will be the groove sketch. And hit the check mark. Oops, you know what? Did I put in a center line? I always like to have a center line in there. Let me right click and then edit. And just want to zoom out so I can see my origin. Let me go to construction, create a line, let it snap to vertical. I always like to sketch it so that is going all the way through the part. And so now I can hit the check mark. And so let me rotate the model, and let's use the keyboard shortcut P to unclutter. And then we are going to revolve, and let me just select the groove sketch right out of the screen for the revolve axis. Let me click in the field and then pick it. And right now it's saying, hey, Boolean resulted in no geometry change. That's because we need to specify that we want to remove material. And now everything looks good there. Let me edit the name of the feature once again. Let me call this the groove revolve cut. Hit the enter key. And you might want to just verify that the merge scope is just the plug. It should be, but just make sure it is. And then hit the check mark. Now, one thing to note is that we're actually going to have two different grooves in here. And originally I thought, hey, just put both of them in this one sketch. But I always like it to be as parametric as possible so that I can have different potential changes later on. And so rather than just creating both rectangles in the same sketch, hey, maybe one day I might want to have 3 groove cuts, you know, or some other different thing, or maybe change the location of the first. I don't know. I just want to be parametric. So I'm going to throw in a linear pattern. So I'll go to that, and let's change from a part pattern to a feature pattern. And for the features to pattern, I'll just pick the groove cut. For the direction, I can pick the top surface here. And let's see, the distance right now is way too big. It's putting it out in space. So let's see, let's plug in the value here, and this is going to be a value of, I don't know, -5, -4. I don't know. Let's try that. -4, and let's try reapplying the feature. Oh, 4. There we go. And opposite direction. There we go. That's the button I want to do rather than doing a negative value. Sometimes you forget these little things. And I don't like that distance. Let's change this. Maybe try 5. Let's make it 7.5. Nope. I'll split the difference. There we go. That's where I want to throw this in there. So I'm happy with that. All right, let's hit the check mark in order to complete the pattern. And then the last thing that we're going to do is finish this off with some chamfers. Let's click on the chamfer tool, and I'll start out with the bottom edge. And let's see, let's just go for the bottom one. Let's just do equal distance. And right now it's a value of 5. Let's make it 2.5 instead. Just want a little bit of a chamfer down there at the bottom. So that is good for the first chamfer. For the second chamfer, let's go and do the top edge. And so let's go to chamfer and pick this very top edge. And let's see, instead of equal distance, we're going to do distance and angle. And it's using value of 2.5. That's good for the value, but let's change the angle to 30. There we go. That is good for chamfer 2. Let's hit the check mark. And we're going to put one last chamfer in here, and that's for this big round edge. So let's go to chamfer and pick this one. And we're also going to do 30 degrees. But we're going to make this a bigger value. Let's make this a value of 5. So that is good for that one. And hit the check mark. And so now we have everything that we need in the plug. Let me bring the engine head visibility back so we can see both of the components. And while I'm here, let's hide the display of the origin. So now that I've got my new component, let's go find our engine assembly and throw it in there. So let me go to the home icon. And let's see, where is the engine assembly? And now we are going to assemble the plug in here. So let's go to the insert command. And we're in Part Studios. Let's see, here's the engine head Part Studio. And I'll select the plug. I can see the default location is putting it sort of like in the middle of the engine block. So I'm just going to go and drop it right about here and then hit the check mark. Now we can put it where we want by using a fastened mate, and we'll pick this location from the engine head, and let's see, this location from the plug, and that is good to put it in the right place. I'll hit the check mark. So that is good in the engine assembly. And of course, if we hop over to the top level assembly, we can see that it is located there. It took surprisingly long to create that part. It's got a few different features, but now we have the project closer to being complete.